Welcome to the Vibrant Life Radio Show with Dr. Brian Ullman.
Welcome, everybody. Dr. Brian Ullman here for just an amazing, exciting edition of Vibrant Life Radio Show. I'm accompanied by my co-host and life partner and wife and beautiful woman, Julie Ullman. How are you doing today, Julie?
Oh, I'm feeling really great right this minute.
Well, I'm a very lucky man to have you in my life. Thank you, dear. And we have also very excited to have with us Stephen Fine. Now, Stephen Fine is in charge of Signature Landscapes, and he is a landscape expert. And we asked him to come on the show because my history, I grew up raising camellia and roses in the Santa Clara Valley, vegetables. We could grow anything. I could take that pen that's in your hand, Stephen, stick it in the ground and grow whatever we wanted to. But when I moved to, I told this story a couple of weeks ago, when I moved to Reno, Nevada 26 years ago, my grandmother, one of my grandmother's best friends was Ramona Stocking. Now, Ramona Stocking owned one of the 12 experimental rose nurseries in the world, and she gave me a bunch of roses to take with me on my journey to Reno. And they were very special, and luckily Ramona passed away many, many years ago, but I planted them the first year. What's that?
Luckily?
Well, I'll tell you why. Well, Ramona would be probably 125 years old today if she were still alive. But this is the thing, Stephen, is that when I came to Reno, I planted them just as I had in Northern California. And it took me less than 1 year to kill them all. And luckily, Ramona, she was elderly at the time, and luckily Ramona Stocking passed away before she came to Reno to see how my rose garden in Northern Nevada was doing.
I don't know if your father told you, but we did send photos of the dead roses to her before.
You did?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, I'm joking.
Because
we would never do that to the poor lady. We would never do that.
Every time Ramona would ask me when I would visit home in San Jose, Ramona would say, well, Brian, how are those roses doing? Oh, they are doing beautifully. They are just good, thriving. I had to lie to the poor woman. But the point is that Northern Nevada is a very, very unique environment. So it was Jolene's brainchild to invite you to come in. And let's dispel some of the rumors about, what is Xeriscape? It's not all cactus and rocks, and a lot of other subjects to help make us a lot more successful horticulturists or wannabe landscapers in our own yard. So, Julene, why don't you introduce Stephen?
Well, I had a fantastic conversation with Steve. Number one, I don't ask people to come on the show unless I know they have a very good reputation, because obviously, we're sort of, here with you, talking to you, and we'd like to have guests that have great reputations and that do great business and that people can count on if they're going to call them. And so I'm a very careful person when it comes to that. So just to let you know, I did a little background check on you. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No. Anyway, what I'm excited about though is that we have an office and a home that we've struggled with for years in this great environment to grow beautiful things. And I know that we're probably going to be working with you very shortly on that. And what's important to us is to create an environment that is serene and calm, that at our home we can come home to a nice, calm environment that gives us some peace of mind. You can go out and enjoy yourself in the afternoons. And at our office, we like an environment that our patients can enjoy. We have a garden, as I mentioned yesterday. It's a tranquility garden that is very important to the patients that are sitting in those rooms, relaxing, to have this beautiful view of a nice fountain and beautiful trees and things like that out there that will help them relax and, begin to calm them down a little bit. So for us, that's important. I know for most families that's important, and Signature Landscape can help in creating that. Why don't you tell us where we can, number one, get in touch with Signature Landscape, and a little bit about the company?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for letting me be on here. This is it's an honor. It's interesting. I've driven by your office 1,000 times. And I always wonder, what is that place all about? And so now I get to know. So I'm really excited to meet the both of you. Signature Landscapes, I have to clear one thing up really quick. I am not personally in charge of Signature. I am merely business development and helping get things cooking here and going out in the face of the company, more or less. So I would love to be someday in charge of the operation.
Well, I hope I didn't ruin your opportunity.
No, we'll still work on it.
Okay.
We'll work on it slowly but surely. But Signature has been around since 2001. It started with a truck, literally a truck, a dog, and a guy with a lawnmower. It was a young man named Rick Clark. He was a transplant from the Northern California area, the Sonoma area. And he just came over here. He was looking for a change, and he noticed that, man, this Nevada area can really use a little bit of life. I mean, you kind of take there wasn't a lot of thoughtfulness put into landscaping prior to 2000. So he came in here, and the success story, I'll shorten it, is from 2001 to 2007, we became the largest landscape operation in northern Nevada. And that was because we brought in true, I hate to say it because Nevadans are kind of picky about their state, but we brought in California-style landscaping, thoughtfulness to the landscapes, very mindful as to what you plant, how you plant it, and then the maintenance of these operations as well. So that was really Signature's claim to fame. So we've been around since 2001. Our company, during the wintertime, will employ around 45 people. And
that is great.
Yeah, and in the summertime, we can have crews as high as 250.
Wow.
So you are a big employer in Northern Nevada.
Yeah,
And,
we take it seriously.
and in fact, was I correct? You're telling me you're looking for people now.
We are. This is the season. One of the parts of this economy is it's let a lot of really, really high-quality talent leave the market in search for other jobs. So it's really tough to get some really good folks here. You know, we're lucky enough to have some of the best qualified arborists, pest control folks, and just landscape professionals, but we need more because as we're seeing, the economy is getting better and better, and people are ready to start building and really start redesigning their outdoor environments.
Now, Stephen, if someone is looking for a job, who would they call and what number would they dial?
You know what? The easiest one to remember is 827-LAWN. That's 827-5926.
No, 5296.
5296. There you go. So 827-LAWN. Call that. You can hop on our website, which is signaturelandscapes.net.
Beautiful website with a lot of tips. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. You try to keep everybody informed.
It's interesting that you've only been in existence since 2001 because as I look at your list of accolades, you have President's Awards, first place, Tony Armstrong Award, Landscape Industry Ambassador for 2012, Lifetime Achievement Award, Lifetime Achievement Award in 11 years. I mean, you guys have had a huge impact in a very short period of time. And to what do you attribute that tremendous success?
Plain and simple, it's the employees. You know, we hire the best. And it's always been very important for us to make sure that if you hire the best, you treat them as well as possible. And you just try to make sure they're fed, they're happy, their families are fed, everybody's insured. And you just try to create an environment where they can follow their art, because landscaping to a certain degree is an art and it's a craft,
definitely.
and it's more than just a skill and digging shovels. And you let these professionals excel at what they do. They excel at what they do. So, for example, the Lifetime Achievement Award, that was for Jim Stanhouse, if I'm not mistaken. And he has done more for training landscapers over the past 10 years at a national level. He worked with the Nevada Landscape Association and brought in national credibility to the industry here in Reno. So he leads that up every year, and he trains, upwards of 70 new landscapers a year from a certified perspective.
Wow, that is fantastic. I mean, just looking at that and how far you've come and the type of quality that you put in. I know you've got architects, and arborists and horticulturists and people all the way down to, people to go in and plant things and come and take care of your lawn. But really to have that kind of creativity to win those types of awards is really, really, I mean, you're a standout company. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, how long have you been with the company, Stephen?
I've been with the company for 4 years, almost 4.5 years. I was in publishing before, and essentially publishing was a really challenging business, and I wanted something more where my hands got dirtier, and I spent less time haggling over dollars, and then haggling over what kind of trees you want to plant, and just trying to make a larger impact in the community.
And you take care of, you not only put in new landscaping for people, both commercial, residential. What's the scope of the company?
It's about 80-20. About 80% of our business comes from the commercial side. We do large construction sites. We do large maintenance programs, all the way down to just small pruning trees for a company here and there. And then 20% residential. And that residential side includes all of the major services. from trees and pests and all the ancillary businesses to residential construction and maintenance. And we've had an opportunity to really build some incredible places. And and sometimes, we don't even do the architect. We'll just get the plans, and they're just far out phenomenal landscapes. And it's just so fun to get in there and
that is
and
fun.
dig it.
Oh,
Yep.
well, Nevadans seem to really like fountains and ponds and waterfalls and water features.
Right.
And do you do a lot of those as well?
We do dozens of them a year, anywhere from just digging holes and aligning it with rock to really elaborate fountains, large stone. Those columnar stones with bubbler fountains are quite popular too, where they just kind of disappear in the rock. There's been some award-winning stuff we found, and you can even go on signaturelandscapes.net and you can see photos of some of these founds.
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Vibrant Life Radio Show. If you just tuned in, we are Julene and I are speaking with Stephen Fine from Signature Landscapes. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about weeds because
Yes.
I hate weeds, and you're going to help us manage that problem. So come on back after this short break for more Vibrant Life Radio Show.
Consign Furniture has grown to be the largest consignment store in northern Nevada, with over 23,000 square feet of showroom to choose from.
Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and so much more. They offer all types of household items at 70% off retail prices.
Consign Furniture has new inventory arriving daily. Come in and find that special piece you're looking for, or furniture for your whole house.
Consign Furniture offers pickup and delivery service to make it easy and convenient to spruce up your home or even get rid of things you're not using.
Do you have items in storage costing you money each month?
Don't worry, Consign Furniture can help. Nervous about having strangers come to your house?
Don't worry, Consign Furniture can help.
Located at 2335 Market Street in Reno. Stop by today or call them at 775-824-0222 and let them help take the guesswork out of selling your furniture or household items.
Easy way to sell, smart way to buy. 775-824-0222.
At Bloom Bake Shop in Reno, our goal is to help you celebrate all of your special occasions. Whether you're running short on time or you just don't have the skills or desire to bake fresh, homemade desserts for your friends and family, I'm here to help. This is Chandra with Bloom Bake Shop and Floral, and I've been baking ever since I could reach the kitchen counter. I bake everything from cookies and birthday cakes for your celebrations to wedding cakes and flowers for the most special day of your life. I was raised here in Reno, and my reputation depends on providing the best desserts you've ever tasted. If you'd like to set up a tasting for your upcoming wedding cake, or if you'd just like to satisfy your sweet tooth, let me help you celebrate your next special occasion. You can give me a call at 775-287-8905, or you can see Bloom Bake Shop on the web at www.bloomreno.com. Let Bloom Bake Shop make your day a little sweeter.
If you or someone you love suffers from the devastating effects of a TMJ disorder or obstructive sleep apnea, we have good news. There's hope. Going from doctor to doctor looking for relief but not getting answers only adds to the pain. At the TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center, we would like you to get to know us, what we do, and how we can help you move beyond jaw pain, headaches, sleep disorders, and medication so that you can enjoy a more vibrant life. Dr. Allman is not only a general dentist, but one of the foremost experts in the country in the field of TMJ disorders and obstructive sleep apnea. Utilizing the most state-of-the-art technology, we have the tools to accurately diagnose the cause of your condition. The TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center listens to you and gives you real answers to your most important questions. What really matters is that you get the help you need. Call us at 825-7200 or visit us at our website, tmjreno.com. That's tmjreno.com, because you deserve a more healthy, vibrant life.
Welcome back, everybody, to Vibrant Life Radio Show. If you just joined us, it's Dr. Brian Allman here with my beautiful co-host and wife, Julene Allman, and we're speaking with Stephen Fine from Signature Landscapes because this is that time of year when we get fooled by this early spring-ish weather. Right now, I'm looking out at my yard and my office. Things are dry. My lawn looks like it's dying. It just looks barren. It almost looks like just a patch of sagebrush, and I want to turn that water on. I'm thinking that, boy, I think those plants in my trees, and I planted a lot of trees. I have a lot of fruit trees and things, and they just have to be starving. So Stephen, help me out. I mean, should I turn my water on or not? I want to.
This is the $937,000 question, and it depends on where you live in the Truckee Meadows, how high you are, and Julian, you mentioned that. If you're up in the Northwest, it's not worth the risk. And I'll just tell you, during the spring, we're going to turn on around 950 homes in about 2 weeks' time.
Wow.
And we haven't started that yet. And the reason is, if you judge wrong, it's an expensive mistake for everybody. So my recommendation is, don't turn your water on just yet. If you look back at the archives, the Almanac told us that on tax day last year, April 15th, we dropped down to freezing. And that was right after we had a nice warm spell. So it's always challenging. It fools the brain. What I'd recommend to everybody in northern Nevada right now is get your hose out, water your trees, soak your trees, give them a dose. Your trees are very affected by what we're going to call a winter drought, and that's what we're experiencing right now. Even though it's cold, there's no moisture, and those trees especially really need their roots need some water.
Are there some trees that are more susceptible to this? Like, say I had 100 trees. Would you want to water the fruit trees first, and then maybe the birch family trees? Which trees are more drought resistant?
More the evergreens, the conifers, and then the fruit trees. Most people don't have 100 trees, so it's easier just to say, just try to get as many as you can, and just leave it out there. Leave your hose going for about 20 minutes a tree
In each pot, each area.
in each spot.
Okay.
Yeah, and don't water at the trunk. Water out, kind of what they call
To
the
the
drip
roots.
line. If you can picture that canopy of trees hanging over you, that's the same kind of distance where the roots are getting the water.
That's a great point, because a lot of people plant within a kind of a circular area. You've planted, you've created something for a tree, and now it's outgrown that.
Right.
The root system has. That is a really good point, because a lot of people just kind of water that one area and think they're done.
No, you need to get all around. If you look at how people lay the drip line for trees, you'll notice those drip lines are going out 10 feet from the trunk sometimes on those larger sycamores.
So we have a giant sequoia out in front of the TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center, and that tree probably has a radius of 24 feet.
That's your watering area.
So we should be
Dang.
out. We should be out 24 feet.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting, because I've probably missed. See, coming from Northern California, as I said earlier, you could plant things upside down, and they would do just fine. And so we have to be a little bit more careful with our drip line. So what do we do over time? Let's say we're going to plant a tree, and I imagine this is probably a good time to plant trees and things like that.
It's a great time.
Okay, so we have a little sapling, a little small, maybe half-inch trunk on this tree. Should the drip line then be very small, and then over the years we move that drip
Yep.
line, or do we?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And sometimes people like to plant trees in the middle of their turf areas, and that's really tough on trees. Because we see it, people think it's okay. You'll see thousands and thousands of trees, especially planted in some of these new developments where a tree is right in the middle of a grass patch. And that's tough for trees because different watering needs. So what you're going to get is a tree that's not going to grow deep roots because it's getting all this water all the time because of the grass requirements or a more frequent watering schedule. So your tree is going to, you'll see this in developments, and we cure this all the time. Your trees are going to fall over, or they're going to bend, or you're going to have a tree at a 18-degree angle that makes you feel weird when you walk by.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. We have a sun locust in the middle of our front lawn, and because I thought it looked pretty. I thought it was attractive, but clearly that was the wrong thing to do. And that would explain why in windstorms that we have so frequently here in northern Nevada, that these trees will just flop right over.
They do.
And,
all over.
Yeah, I had about a 15-foot Lalande cypress. And it's a beautiful tree. I just love this tree out in the front, remember, in the front yard?
Yes.
And the thing just flopped right over.
All the roots and everything.
Actually, Gary, let me tell you what I did, because it seems to be working okay. What I did was I tied a rope around the trunk in my truck, and I literally because
I wish I could have filmed it. It was pretty funny.
It had probably a 1-foot trunk at the base.
Right.
It's an old Lalande cypress, and I uprighted it, and then I took a 6-inch. It was almost like a 6x6,
looking thing.
but it was more of a landscape log.
Sure.
And I drilled a 1/2-inch hole through the log in the trunk, bolted that together, and then down at the rocks, I put a big rock to hold that thing. And you know what? Here we are 2 years later, and it's doing okay.
That's
Well-
the Nevada spirit right there.
Yeah, that is. It's kind of unusual looking, but that's okay. It's still standing. That's all that matters.
You know, when you're talking about that species of tree, also when it snows, you know, it has those branches that go up, those long branches. Always go through and knock off the snow on the branches, or else it cracks those.
We've
those
had
big branches.
Right, we've had several of those, and it's more somebody Brian's height to walk through it, and your head hits it, and so then it ends up all over your head. But unfortunately, that does happen quite often to you.
Hey, Stephen, what are some of the tougher varieties of trees? And let's get into success here. And we're on the subject of trees, and don't plant trees in the middle of your lawn type discussion. What are, for a novice, 26 years ago, if I'd come in and I'd say, what should we be planting? I mean, what are your no-brainer trees, as I like to call them, things that are going to grow here?
Well, plant according to what you want to see 5 years from now. And I think what Northern Nevada likes are flowers in the spring, because it's just a romantic. It just makes you feel good. It makes spring happen. And so the most popular trees you're going to have is the no-brainer is a crab apple. That thing will grow. That's what you can plant it upside down. It's just going to grow. If you live in the southwest, or not the southwest, excuse me, the southeast, kind of the DeMonte Ranch area, you're going to have to watch out for boron. So whatever you plant, you want to make sure you have soil amendments and you're properly. And I don't know what the chemicals are for that right here, but it just depends where you live. The no-brainer, a crab apple is not even going to grow in this boron infested, and that's a chemical that just seeps naturally from the soil.
Yeah, that's a big problem in the Southwest.
Any kind
East,
of
southeast.
pine tree, those things just grow. They love it here. But the pears, even peaches, they grow here. Apricots, they love to grow, and they do exactly what people want. They flower, and you can get some of the non-fruiting apricots especially, which don't leave such a mess there in the middle of summer.
Yeah, they're tough. What I found was years ago we planted about 100 fruit trees because if we're coming from California, I'm neurotic. If there's a piece of dirt, something's got to go. When you come by the office, because I need you to come and tell me what I did wrong there, but you'll see that I overplant. I tend to do that, and most of my patients know that if anything happens to an eye or a hand or I can't do what I'm doing, I'll probably be looking for a job with you. I love landscaping.
We're hiring.
I love. Are you? Well,
Dr. Olin, don't even think about it.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I really enjoy it. But I know there's a big knowledge gap because you go to Home Depot and you'll see something that's pretty, and you'll just assume that can be planted, and that people get into trouble and disappointed, don't
That's why
they?
you hire professionals.
Well, Reno's a do-it-yourself market, so the Home Depot does play a big role. They tend to buy according to the climate and the zones, because it's just bad business because they have such a aggressive return policy. They'll take anything back, so it's bad business to give you something that's going to die. But I am a big fan of local. So go to your nurseries, go to your garden shops, you go to your Moanas. They've got the pros there, and they're going to tell you how to do it yourself. Right.
Will you come out to someone's home and kind of advise them or create a plan for them?
Yeah, we do it all the
You have
time.
consulting.
We do it all the time. And maybe that's a good segue into something later when we can talk about what consulting is and how deep can you go when you're talking about landscaping in general. What do you want your outside to be? One of the neatest things is when you see a homeowner, that bing that goes on their head when they realize, I don't have to just work around my current property. I can dig this up. I can move it about. All of a sudden, now I have a living room outside. I can put couches here. I could put an arbor over. And so that's the consulting that we tend to do. And once you can tell someone that leads them into this, all of a sudden anything can take place. That's where it gets really
Sometimes
exciting.
it's just a matter of having an imagination that works outside. And a lot of people are really great at decorating inside, but they don't know what the heck to do outside. We are the kind of people that enjoy ourselves so much in the summertime. We love the warm weather because we pretty much stay outside all the time as much as possible. And in my view, and I know from a psychology point of view, if you have a nice space to come home to, if you get off at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, or you've had a stressful day, there is nothing like coming home to a nice environment. And I think it means more than most people realize to have that place of solace, somewhere to come home to and somewhere to just have your downtime maybe have a glass of wine, walk around and check out what's growing and what's blooming and things like that in your yard.
Absolutely.
It's a soothing kind of thing to do. I'm a bird lover, so I also have bird feeders all over the place. Hummingbird feeders, finch feeders. Finches are my favorite. And having that to look at or to calm me down just does a lot for my mind, and my body and my spirit. I really feel like it's important for people, and I don't think everyone looks at their lawn and their yard like that. And let's talk more about designing that when we come back.
Love to.
All right, Stephen, final thought. When do we turn our water on?
You're going to turn your water on. Let's wait to this cold snap to fly over. And I would say if you're in the lowest elevations, the 4,000 feet, the river level, you can probably go in the next week.
And how about if you're up
Higher
in the
level,
hills?
wait till that phase it's going to happen.
May
We don't
1st.
know that's going to happen.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. You're listening to Vibrant Life Radio Show, and come back from the break, and we will discuss lawn, turf care. What do we do? Should we tear it up, replant it, or what are we going to do with it? Again, Vibrant Life Radio Show, and come back from the break, and we'll talk again with Stephen Fine.
Hey, honey, what a great idea to get the Cancer Plus policy from Gary Paget Insurance. It not only covers cancer, but 27 other dreaded diseases.
Sweetheart, I'll tell you what, it's amazing, and what a great price.
What's more amazing is that the policy is guaranteed, it's renewable for life, and the benefits are paid regardless of other insurance that we have.
Plus the payments are paid directly to us. Benefits don't change when you and I turn 65, and we don't have to be hospitalized to receive these benefits.
Well, we need to give all of our friends and family Gary Paget's number.
Gary Paget Insurance offers the best available term life insurance rates and a cancer insurance policy that also covers 27 additional diseases. Visit GaryPagetInsurance.com. That's GaryPaget insurance.com. Or give them a call at 760-223-1952. That number again is 760-223-1952.
This is Sarah Garrett, owner of the Purple Bean Coffee House, and I want to talk to you about how to achieve the perfect cup of coffee at home. First, a clean coffee pot is essential, and buy the best one that you can afford. French roasted coffee beans are also the key to a superb cup of coffee. Purchase your coffee beans in small amounts, only as much as you can use in a 2-week period, because coffee goes stale quickly. Whenever you can, use only fresh, cold, filtered water. If you're using tap water, let it run a few seconds before filling your coffee pot. For all your coffee needs, come see me at the Purple Bean Coffee House at the corner of 7th and Keystone. We feature a full-service drive-through window and free Wi-Fi. Check in on Yelp, Facebook, or Foursquare for a free espresso shot. And if you're running late, call ahead at 787-2827 to place your order. Purple Bean Coffee Company, because coffee shouldn't come from a chain store.
Debbie, I just walked by Proper Fit right here in Reno Town Mall.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the Dansko shoe line?
Why, yes, I am, Eddie.
Well, let me tell you what. The Dansko shoe line, for the very first time now, has tennis shoes for women.
Ooh, wow.
You're not going to believe this. Now, let me tell you what. They are slip resistant. They come in every beautiful, bright color you can imagine, and a combination of colors. They're lightweight. They come in all sizes. And for those women who would prefer to have a clog, they even have colored clogs over there, because for the first time now, Dansko has tennis shoes for ladies.
I am really happy to hear that.
Okay, now remember, listeners, I want you to get a hold of Michael over at Proper Fit. Give him a call, 775-323-3757. His number again, 775-323-3757. Tell Michael you want to see those Dansko tennis shoes for ladies right here at Proper Fit in Reno Town Mall.
Welcome, everybody, and welcome back to Vibrant Life Radio Show. Again, Dr. Brian Allman sitting here with my lovely co-host, Julian Allman. And again, if you need a new dentist, or you need some dental work done, don't forget, I always forget to tell people, don't forget Vibrant Life radio show is sponsored by Vibrant Family Smiles. And give us a call, 825-7200, and talk to Chandra or Brenda about the issues that are concerning you with your teeth, maybe cosmetically, or if you're having TMJ or CPAP problems. Give us a call as well. Again, 825-7200. So before the break, I kind of cut you off a little bit, Stephen, because we were up against a hard break. But again, for our listeners, when do we turn the water on? And because I'll tell you why. I have replaced, what is that big brass valve that costs $90?
That's your. I can't believe I just forgot.
Okay, that thing. Well, I should know. Okay, I should know what that.
You've bought at least 3 of them.
3 that you know of. I purchased 3 that you know
Yeah,
of.
probably more
because
than
those
that.
things
It's
are
the
very
backflow.
The backflow. Okay.
Sorry.
To me, it's a pain in my back because most of those I've had to dig down 4 feet under the ground and then replumb it. And I grew up, doing irrigation and plumbing and things. I have no problem with PV. I grew up with galvanized pipe.
There you go.
Oh, what a nightmare. So, I mean, I've replaced those things, and the one at the office I replace all the
costly.
time because we're on Peckham Lane. I mean, we're just about a block west of the Atlantis Casino, and we're a half a block from the
Nevada Matters studio.
Nevada Matters radio studio. But because it faces west, it's on the southwest corner. That thing freezes. It could be 50, 60 degrees out, and that thing's dripping already. It's already cracked. So how do we prevent that? Because that's a very pricey item.
Well, you just mentioned something. We're still talking about water. Have in the wintertime or in the fall, have your system drained professionally because there's 1 or 2 steps that people always forget. It's turning the little dials on your regulator, on your backflow pressure regulator. And that's going to drain it because what you're going to do if you don't drain those things, there's going to be a half a cup of water in there that's going to freeze and it's going to crack, and there you go. You're out another $100 or $500.
Yeah, and Julian always says, "Well, did you turn the water off?" "Oh, we're good for another couple weeks," and then bam, I'm out there. A lot of that. You think I bought 3, honey? That's all you know about because I didn't want to hear "I told you so." What would it for? Say the average home, maybe 3rd acre. With 5 or 6 or 7 or 9. What would it cost to have the experts at Signature Landscapes come out and turn it on properly, check everything, and turn it off properly?
That it's easy to turn it on. Is $89. We're actually having a special now where it's $69, and that includes. And with us, we like to make sure you set it up. We set it up so at the end of the year, we're also going to turn it off.
Right.
So
you pre-plan.
We love to turn on.
Honey, they pre-plan. Do you hear?
Well,
Sorry.
we love to turn on water that has been turned off properly because it really means it's easy. So when we sign you up, you're going to get a turn on and turn off. That's just part of the package, and that's a guarantee. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to schedule it. It's just going to happen.
So you will come out. So we'll call Signature Landscapes again. What's the number?
827-LAWN.
827-LAWN. And you will then be in charge of when to turn it on, when to turn it off.
And then any issues that happen is our fault.
Well, that's the thing is I mean that the introductory deal is $69. Those backflow valves.
They're more.
The last one I bought was anyway like 90 some odd bucks.
Right.
Plus the time to dig it out, plus all the ancillary things. So I mean, you're looking at a $200-300 job. If I said, "Hey, come out and replace that at the office," what would that cost me?
Well, we'd love it.
$300?
Oh yeah, we'd love it when you do that.
That is going to cost you more.
So really, I mean, I wish you brought this up sooner because for $69, you'll come and turn it on when it's appropriate, and you'll turn it off when it's appropriate. And if I have a broken sprinkler head, you'll fix that as well when you turn it on.
When we turn it on,
For an additional charge.
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
But yeah.
But when we turn it on, we walk the lines, we check for leaks. It's about an hour process, and we'll just make sure and then we'll also, one of the things is we're going to program your clock properly, so you don't have to worry about when it's on, when to turn it off. So we're going to set it up so it's going to get your entire landscape watered throughout spring.
Okay, what about time? What about times when you need to turn? Because I know as the seasons pass, and you're an expert on this as well, as the seasons change and the environment changes, you have to change the watering times a little bit too.
It's about a 4-step process. You're going to have turn on, you're going to have prep it for spring, you're going to have early summer, then you're going to have just pure hot. And each of those has different watering times. And, I'd love to talk about water to a certain degree because in the middle of summer, for example, people like to just leave it on water for 2 hours and just say that lawn's going to be good for a while. What you do is you water for about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes a pop, 3 or 4 times a day. That's going to make your roots grow deep, and they're going to be lusting for that deeper water. It's going to give you a stronger turf. It's going to make your tree go deeper for that water. So that's your little tip when it comes to watering throughout the seasons.
Are most of the timers set up to do that?
Oh yeah,
they
You
are.
can do multiple times. You can, and especially the newer ones. The newer ones, they go off of satellite data. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. We have some very complex ones.
So will your company come out and make those changes along the way?
We have a water management program.
You do?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Do you work with Tumwa on that, or?
Well,
their guidelines?
Tumwa's, they're just over there charging you money for it.
Yes.
They give you 3 days to water, which really confused the heck out of us, out of customers. Essentially, Tumwa stays out of it. Down in Southern Nevada, they'll give you credits. They'll pay you money to put in those smart water timers, is what we'll call them, ET.
Wow.
Up here, they don't have it.
But if you're an environmentally conscious person and you're trying to save water on that, you've got plans to make sure that you're watering efficiently.
Absolutely. You can hop on, go to siglands.com, and we have a lot of information about irrigation and tips. Go to Rainbird. There's lots of places out there where you can learn more easy steps, 1, 2, 3 steps.
Well, I know in Northern Nevada, everybody's very concerned about water, conserving water, and so that brings to mind Xeriscape. And to me, in my mind, Xeriscape is a pile of rocks and a cactus. And tell us a little bit about your vision when it comes to Xeriscape, because quite frankly, born and raised in San Jose, and I want some lawn, I want some trees. Maybe I want to grow some tomatoes here and there. I want to have my roses. Camellias are a little tough in Northern Nevada.
Right.
But, what is Xeriscape? Does it have to be a pile of rocks and a cactus?
You know what? We are familiar with the Tucson model of xeriscaping, where you have red rock and some gray rock and some brown rock and a cactus in between. That's not how it has to happen here in Nevada. You can have turf, yes, even turf in a xeriscape. What you're doing in xeriscape is you're creating less of a turf patch. And one of the big keys is you're doing drip irrigation, which is an amazingly efficient way to water your entire landscape. Drip irrigation, it's also put your interior design skills to work outside. And you can use pots and big planters. And what you're going to create is a more organic, a more wholesome environment that isn't just your big square of grass. And you can save you also, with the drip and with your smarter controllers, you're going to be saving 70 to 80% of your water, and it's that quick.
Wow, that is helpful for both the environment and your pocketbook.
Well, and it's just good looking. It's just neater. Like I said, instead of that big square grass, you can have pathways and secret hideouts, or you can have your barbecue, your outdoor kitchen. Because your outdoor kitchen doesn't take any water. So once again, you start creating these outdoor living environments within this Xeriscape property, and there's just no end to what you can do. And in fact, I'm a big fan. I'm a big proponent of moving your indoors outdoors.
Yeah, you've written quite a few articles on the fact that due to the economy, people are not traveling as much as they used to, and so now instead of investing in trips, they're actually investing in their yards,
in their homes. Yeah,
absolutely. They're not spending it on vacations as much, and they're also realizing all that hullabaloo of moving to a bigger and bigger house. Those days are kind of gone. So now they're reinvesting that money that they would move into their yard, and so they're creating these outdoor kitchens. They're creating trellises with just beautiful wisteria vines overhead and morning glories, and just color and shape and just usefulness.
And enjoying the space they're in.
Absolutely.
Instead of, I need something bigger and more expensive, they can just change their environment where they're at and create something far more beautiful.
Absolutely. You talked about fountains, and so now you have your barbecue, and now you have your fountain, and now you have your seat wall, and then over here you have your fire pit, and the kids gather around the fire pit at night. It's
with a screen.
It's a great way to drink wine.
Yes, exactly. That's fantastic. I think that's the perfect way to go. I know we spend, like I said, a ton of time outside. Most of our family time is outdoors, especially in the summertime. So I like that creativity. And when you earlier we were talking about coming out and what does it cost and how does somebody go about creating a plan without breaking the bank?
Right.
And what was the 5-year plan that you mentioned? Go through that
again.
We
kind of call it the 5-year plan. And essentially what that is a lot of folks can't just invest everything into that initial landscape. So we'll come out and we'll do the heavy lifting. We'll do the grading, and we can move that mountain back 20 feet so you have more backyard. We can make a rock pile or remove lots of earth. We'll build a wall, and then you plant your dirt. You plant your grass, You plant your trees, and your family takes part in the greenery of your landscape.
Get your kids involved.
I wish I'd known about your 5-year plan a long time ago, because I would have had you do the heavy lifting, but then I get to go in and do the planting.
That's exactly
right. Which
I
think that's what a lot of people would like to do. Not everybody, but a lot of people would like to have their beds ready to go and plant. So, Gary, thank you so much. Well, again, everybody, if you joined us late, you're listening to Vibrant Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Dr. Brian Allman, with my beautiful wife and co-host, Julene. And when we come back, we're going to talk about something I hate, and that's weeds. Weeds, if you drive by my office right now on Peckham Lane, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So come back from the break, and we're going to talk about weeds.
Announcing Scampi, Reno's newest pasta house and bar. It creates your business casual lunch and fine dinner dining. For lunch and dinner, an amazing selection of Scampi dishes, along with homemade ravioli, gnocchis, and lasagnas are freshly prepared for you on the premises. Indulge yourself with classic Scampi with white wine lemon butter sauce, Scampi Diablo made with spicy marinara sauce, or Scampi with marinated artichoke hearts. Enjoy homemade desserts like tiramisu, creme brulee, and cannoli are created for you on the site as well. To fit with your New Year's fitness resolution, don't forget to try On the Light Side their large array of fresh and grilled salads and healthy sandwiches. Scampi is centrally located on the corner of Liberty and South Virginia at 425 South Virginia Street, across from the Federal Building in the heart of Reno's Midtown District. You can park for free in the garage or in the adjacent parking lot. For reservations, call 775-284-0660.
Press 1 for accounts, 2 for balance information, 3 for give your house back to us department, 4 for the we lost your modification application department, 5 for the stay on hold forever department.
Hello, this is Ivana for Close-A-Lot. Can I help you? Hello?
Unbelievable! Don't let the bank win. Call 359-1936 today. Hello, I'm attorney Carlin Kidder of the Kidder Law Group, a debtor's rights law firm. Our law firm offers solutions to people who find themselves behind on bills, are hopelessly underwater on their house, and who want to make their financial picture bright again. We offer free consultations. Give us a call and schedule an appointment so that we can come up with a solution that fits you. Once again, that's 359-1936, or visit our website, kidderlawgroup.com.
This is Chandra from Bloom Bake Shop and Floral, and I've been baking since I could reach the kitchen counter. I bake everything from cookies and birthday cakes for your celebrations to wedding cakes and flowers for the most special day of your life. I was raised here in Reno, and my reputation depends on providing the best desserts you've ever tasted. Call me at 775-287-8905 or see us on the web at bloomreno.com. Let Bloom Bake Shop make your day a little sweeter.
If you've been diagnosed with sleep apnea, but you're not wearing your CPAP, please listen carefully. Every day, you're putting your life at risk by ignoring this life-threatening disease. Right now, you could be putting others at risk as well. Who's in your car with you right now? Drowsy drivers are just as dangerous as drunk drivers. Don't wait. Call the TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center today at 825-7200. That's 825-7200. Or see us on the web at tmjreno.com.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Dr. Brian Allman of the Vibrant Life Radio Show, and we're sitting with our guest, Stephen Fine, who is a horticulturalist expert, and here talking about everything in northern Nevada that has to do with plants. And one plant that I hate the most, it's funny, when I was growing up in San Jose, and, it seemed as though the plants would outpace the weeds. You did some weeding, but the plants would Here it's just the opposite. Everything I plant is outpaced by the weeds. And I'm very embarrassed right now because, 3 days ago, there wasn't a weed in the front yard of our office, TMJ Therapy Sleep Center on Peckham. Now you turn around, and even Jess came in, one of my assistants, and she said, "Hey, is the landscaper coming by?" And because I'm kind of focused on my patients and what we're doing, but I went outside, and, oh my gosh. So talk a little bit about my nemesis, these darn weeds in northern Nevada. What do we do? How do we prevent them?
Right.
But then what do we do now? I mean, it's too late to do what we should have done. So talk about the whole weed issue.
Well, for one thing, a weed is a very easygoing creature.
It's not. It's like a rabid dog. It's a rabid dog that'll carry you away. It's not an easy going.
It just likes to grow. You give it a spot.
Modified.
It's just happy to be anywhere you let it.
Okay.
And let's look at real quick. You talked about your landscape. I'll talk about turf, for example. You get the weeds or the dandelions in your turf. That's a sign that your turf isn't healthy. Because if your turf was healthy, just like your body, if your body's healthy, it fights off the infections. A strong turf it does not have any room for weeds. The turf takes all the water. The turf takes the nutrients. Yeah. So if you see and then that's why you would aerate your turf. You would water your turf properly. That's going to keep it as strong as it can possibly be. Now you go over to a larger, more of a commercial landscape like you would have in your office, and you have a lot of open spaces. That is just merely you've sometimes just gotta pick them. And in early in the year, let's say February, you are going to want to, and you're going to remember this
for next
year, and actually to a degree in the fall, you're going to want to apply a pre-emergent herbicide. And what that is, it's a chemical that tells the seeds of weeds to not germinate. That's the chemical. It doesn't kill the weeds, but it just tells the seed, don't worry about it. We got you covered. You just stay in your seed form, and it doesn't grow. And that is the beauty of pre-emergence. It's just a great invention. And you'll want to do that in the fall too with cheatgrass. Cheatgrass also germinates in the fall.
No, I have to be the bearer of bad news. There are a lot of people that don't want to use an herbicide or something that's environmentally toxic. So what are the choices?
Well, the other choice is
pick them, right?
Pick them. You want to pick them. Create a landscape that a lot of people will use rock mulch. The 1 inch to the 3 inch kind of river rock and stuff, and that stuff is just prone to getting weeds. If you don't want to have to pick them every year, which is what you're going to have to do if you don't use chemicals, you want to maybe reconsider the type of landscape where maintenance is easier. Maybe go to a DG, which is the dirt and the shaped kind of dirt. And that's going to be easier. But once again, the weed, if you let it grow, it will grow.
Sure.
So you have to kind of think above and beyond just picking or something. What is that environment you want to kind of create?
Well, you said you've driven my office 1,000 times,
Right.
you said, and you probably noticed the weeds that are out there. And
Didn't even see one.
See, neither did I. But other
Until
people are.
yesterday.
So I'll be very anxious maybe to have you come over with your experts and kind of take a look.
Yeah.
Maybe it isn't so much that we need to be throwing down a pre-emergent as it is maybe changing the landscape just a little bit.
To a certain degree, and that's possible. But if you also let's take weed control is a process, and you got to feed the beast. It never goes away. But it gets easier as the years go on. So if you are efficient and you are just constantly pulling out the weeds, even if you don't want to use the chemical, you're just constantly removing the weeds. What you're doing is you're removing the chance for the seeds to germinate. The Russian thistle, the tumbleweed. There's 250,000 seeds in that one plant. So it's an efficient bugger.
Well, how do you feel about products now like Roundup? The cat's out of the bag, the weeds already germinated, so to speak, and they're. I mean, it would be quite a task, and I'm not a lazy person.
Right.
I've picked a lot of weeds in my day, but I mean, it would be quite a task now to pick out all the little weeds from the rocks. How do you feel about Roundup or?
Well, we use a chemical that has a similar chemical in it as Roundup. I think if you have large environments, the chemicals are the way to go. There are certain types that don't use petroleum-based, but they're still chemicals and they're still nasty.
If you have little dogs, little kids, things like that, you do not want that around, your family, and if it's in your yard. Now, commercial properties, that's different. It is a larger environment, so you have a lot more space to take care of. But I'm sorry, I'm a proponent of none of those things.
It's a tough one. There's no easy way around it. It's just how much time do you want to be on your knees picking those things out of your yard?
So you said February is the time to put out that pre-emergent. What is the best pre-emergent? Are there particular brands, or is that evolving with
Home Depot? If you're a do-it-yourselfer, Home Depot or Lowe's, they're going to have the brands for you. You just say I need a pre-emergence. Scott's will have them. Ortho has a bunch, and they all pretty much use the same kind of chemicals. There's 2 major manufacturers in the world.
Well, wanting to shift towards having the professionals take care of things. Like I don't appreciate when my patients pull their own teeth. I don't think that's very. or doing your do-it-yourself root canal kits. I guess they're popular, but
No,
the results aren't too good. What if I wanted to have, if I have you come over and do the $69, do the water treatment and fix everything, get me set up for spring? Can you come over and take care? Can you you can maintain those weeds for me as well, can't you?
We have a number of seasonal programs. We have 3 main seasonal programs that we do, and this is a great plug, I suppose.
No, you're saving me some help, and you're getting the "I told you so"s out of my life from my beautiful wife, Julie.
Well,
tell us about the programs. 'Cause I want to know.
We have a turf-only program, and that is just make sure that, and we will we go in there, we turn on your water. We aerate your yard. We aerate the turf twice, once in the spring, once in the fall. And aeration, I'm going to just tell you real quick. The secret to a healthy lawn is to aerate it and fertilize it. And aeration, people just tend not to do it because if you do it yourself, you're hauling a 300-pound monster, dangerous machine around, and it's just awful. So people tend not to do it.
Right.
Pay the $60, get it
Get
aerated.
it done.
And that's going to make your lawn incredibly healthy. It's mind-blowing how healthy it's going to make your lawn. It gets the oxygen in the water, gets deeper into the roots, and the thatch layer, it becomes nutrient.
Do you pick up the pelt thingies?
No, you don't.
You
Do
don't.
not
You
pick
leave
up the
those-
goose poops.
No,
Why?
leave them there?
Leave them there because that is soil,
Yeah.
and it's going to eventually find its way back down. And that's the thatch. You've heard of dethatching. Well, that thatch layer, which is the dead grass, it's going to dissolve back in there, and those are vitamins. So
That's why they leave it out there.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm always the guy that I'm out there raking it up.
No, you got to leave
Oops.
it. You got to leave it. Hey, you water it, and it goes away.
This is why you hire professionals. See?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so different programs. People come out, and there are a number of landscapers. Everybody does it.
What's your other? You said you had 3 programs. The first is the turf only, where you water and you aerate. And what are the other programs?
Well, the other one we have an emerald, a gold, and a platinum program. The gold program is kind of it's kind of an all-inclusive. It would be your planter beds, your trees, your entire landscape is maintained and watered. And there's really you just hire us and forget it because nothing is out of our scope. And then the platinum is that plus. We're out there once a week. Maintaining it. Whereas the gold, we're there just kind of maintaining it once a month, mowing it 4 times a month. But the platinum is you've got your own personal crew. It's the same crew. They know your yard. They know you. They know your dogs.
Your kids.
Yeah, exactly. We have the best trucks. People don't want to have a dingy, ugly vehicle in front of their yard, so we have just our best trucks and our shiny trailers. We try to cater to everybody.
Right.
Stephen, if obviously I want you guys to come over and take a look at the yard because I'm getting so busy. We landscaped the house ourselves. We landscaped the office, and clearly you'll see that it was not done professionally. But it's just what I tend to do. I like to plant. I like to dig in the dirt. But I'm getting very busy, and I used to go around and prune my own trees and take care of things. But would there be a charge for folks to give you a call at 827-LAWN and say, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about maybe a turf program or an emerald, gold, or platinum program? Is there a charge?
There's never a charge. No, we come out.
We come out and just give them an idea of what they need.
I mean, some people just need that push, and they say, "Oh, I can do this and this and this," and that's fine. It doesn't matter. There's no charge for any kind of consultation. But I will tell you, what people tend to forget is, I just had my trees pruned 5 years ago, and those trees, they grow, and it's just
like I just had my hair cut 5 years ago.
It's just simple maintenance, exactly. And if you can get yourself on that routine, that's a great place to be, and you turn into the gardener, and you find solace in that. But if you don't, and you don't want to go out there once a month and kind of clip and trim,
well, one other thing too that I want to mention very quickly, because I know we just have a few more minutes, but part of what we talked about earlier that you guys do there is some cleanup for fire prevention as well. So honestly, people, if you have a lot of area around your home, if you have dry leaves, dead things like that, hire somebody to come out and take care of that so you can keep your home safe for you and your family. So that's your home and your heart there. So keep your place
Well, clearly
safe.
we're going to have Stephen Fine back because we got a lot more questions for you. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Vibrant Life Radio Show. And we will talk to you next week when we welcome Dr. Michael Lewandowski to the radio.